Hi, my name is Stella Martin, and it was a suggestion from a friend that I make a short video while we're seeking representation for a landfill that was created next to my house out in Palinville. It's a hamlet of Catskill in Greene County, New York. Right now, I'm facing a SLAPP suit, defamation suit that's been imposed on myself and the mother on the opposite side of this landfill by the landfill owner himself, which he hit us with the defamation suit right before he was going for the site plan review for the permits that he had needed for 3 businesses that he had been operating illegally for nearly 10 years without any town or county permits. All we knew at the time is that we were told he had a DEC permit to only accept leaves and grass for his huge composting facility. Meanwhile, back in the end of 2012, going into 2013, large tractor trailers started coming throughout the nights and dumping large chunks of construction demolition debris, backed up right up to the edge of the wetlands and dumped it right down the banks down into the waters, which it was admitted by the landfill owner himself. And he stated that this debris came up from New York City and Long Island, was illegally transported because there were no bills of lading. One issue we've had is we've been battling not just the landfill owner, but also all of our agencies, where it really has us at a disadvantage because we didn't get the help from our town, our county, or our state like this landfill property did. I think if we would have gotten the help from our agencies that this businessman has gotten the whole way, we would not even be where we are. We've had a hard time finding representation, and it seems because it is such a large issue and it does stretch throughout many of our government agencies. We've been manipulated and deceived by them throughout every inch of the way, which is something I have a lot of evidence on. I need a lot more evidence to really tie everything in together, which myself and a few others, some really great people that have come across my path, we're brainstorming, trying to put together some thoughts and ideas for testing for this property and the surrounding area there. So we're thinking we'll be doing a fundraiser shortly for testing, doing the water of the wetlands, dust samples, and some soil. It was the biggest health impact to myself and my kids was nearly 2 years ago when the landfill owner needed to fulfill the consent order he had with the DEC. The DEC only made him slant the debris that's the new banks of our wetlands. The tons of debris he accepted and dumped was too steep, so we had to slant it back so the wildlife could walk up out of the wildlife, or walk out of the wetlands. And that's when just the dust from that, it hit my home so hard. It was very dry that spring, and that's when my son's eyes started shooting off to the sides, rolling back in his head, tremors of the nervous system, sores down my throat, my airways, and into my lungs. Some damage to my little daughter, who was up every night, couldn't breathe, coughing, gagging, would end up throwing up on herself because she couldn't breathe. This property has no precautions whatsoever. There's not even a sprinkler system for this large property. Even though with all of our agencies being made aware that even his large composting facility is extremely hazardous to the neighbors and residents next door. Even that has bioaerosols, endotoxins. Pretty much you have compost, you have these types of toxins, and it's going to affect your neighbors and the people nearby, and which our bodies reacted physically to a lot. We like I said, we have a lot of evidence. I believe evidence, I mean, it's a lot of evidence too about how our agencies have been deceiving us and working against us instead of helping us. And I've done the best I can with that. I'm only one person, even though the neighbors have been trying also. I mean, we're up against our governmental agencies, which is so wrong. They're not supposed to be protecting the landfill. They were supposed to be helping us help the wetlands and help our families. And it's such a shame that we've had to battle this huge battle against trying to get the truth. And I mean, I can't believe that it has been allowed from our agencies to manipulate the residents like they have. They said, we didn't get help. I am at a disadvantage here because I didn't get the help I should have had. And meanwhile, we had to weed through all these deceptions instead of, helping with the true primary purpose, which is there has been toxic debris that is dumped on this illegal property. It is an illegal landfill. There are no liners for this property or anything that was dumped. There's been air conditioners and refrigerators admitted to be dumped there. Mounds of tires. There is a huge 50 to 75 foot wall of construction debris next to my property line. He was not allowed to accept this. There's a town law against dumping. There's a county law against dumping, especially bringing any type of debris from outside of the town or the county. Meanwhile, our town and our county won't uphold any of our laws. So, so our time has been battling all of that instead of, the true nature is that you're not allowed to create these type of hazards for your neighbors and do this to innocent families that live next door to you. We would be in a much better place if our groups and our agencies had helped us like they helped this businessman. If anybody please knows of somebody who they think could possibly help us, we are trying to get testing done. So hopefully we'll have that shortly. And I think that will really help our case tremendously. We have a lot of amazing people that are really trying to brainstorm, and so I would really appreciate any help somebody could offer with helping us to get attorneys. We also need an environmental attorney, somebody to speak for these wetlands. They can't speak for themselves, and I can only do so much. With this defamation case, I may be facing a gag order, and one hope I would have with this is that I've shared a lot of my evidence, and I hope that even if something happens to me and silences me, I hope the concerns for these wetlands will continue. I showed the video of the damage of the trees dead from one spot of the property where the dumping started to the end of where the dumping stopped, and all the trees in between dead. The damage in the water where everything is dead. It needs a good, honest biologist to go out there and really reassess these wetlands. Where the debris is, that's supposed to be U.S. Fish and Wildlife, the nationally and federally, as freshwater emergent. Right down the water, it's just a little bit more, is supposed to be freshwater pond. These creeks continue down to the town of Saugerties drinking supply. Whereas when we contact the Saugerties officials, they said, well, we have filters. Yeah, but filters don't filter out everything. And I doubt if families knew that their representatives were making that choice for them instead of finding out what's going on and what's upstream, I think a lot of other families would be a little upset with that. I do have severe cadmium poisoning, which is not just something you pick up at a grocery store, or it's not very commonly found. There's been hazardous levels of lead that have been neglected, that instead of truly investigating, they would just try and make up any excuse manipulation they could. So we've done the best with what we have and what we could work with, because we've battled our agencies every step of the way. If it was just this businessman, I think our battles would have ended a while back. But we've been manipulated and lied every step of the way, and it's very tough to process. But that's our reality, and we've done what we can for what I believe is for everyone. This is what I'm going to leave my kids with. When they're older, this is the world. Our states is hidden little toxic properties everywhere. It's not what I thought it was. I found out that all of our government protection agencies, to me, they've been only an illusion. I think, okay, Department of Environmental Conservation, Environmental Protection Agency, now there's groups to go to, right? And meanwhile, they would start out seeming like they cared, and I don't know what happened. Within a few days or a week, they would talk to somebody, and next thing we knew is, oh, there's nothing wrong there. And, meanwhile, here's, damage to the waters, the trees. Here's damage to my kids. We're diagnosed with exposure to industrial toxins, cadmium poisoning, deceptions. The DEC is telling people the truckloads were leaves and grass when the businessman admits it was construction debris from Long Island and New York City during the time of Hurricane Sandy. Some of this has gone way far beyond insulting the intelligence of American citizens, of regular people, because some of these excuses, they're just absurd. That the death of the trees was caused by two beaver dams way downstream of the wetlands. Those are very strategic beavers. I mean, and it's so clear though, but I don't know if they don't see it or they just don't care how blatantly manipulating they look. But I've witnessed it. I've seen it. I'm not a biologist, and I didn't have to be to witness the damage that was done to this area, the sensitive area of the wetlands, and to my family, to myself, and to my kids. So if anybody knows any attorneys or lawyers, please contact me. We do have the website. It's PalinvilleCatskillLandfill.com. There is a lot of evidence on the Facebook page. What is it? Catskill Palinville Toxic Landfill Experience. We have a lot of evidence we're sharing. Hopefully we'll have more evidence as testing comes out, as this, and this. But, we're doing the best we can. There's a great group of people that knows and sees the damage that have been here. They've seen it. And a lot of people left wondering is what the hell is going on with our agencies. They're ridiculous manipulations, but this property needs help. We need help. So I would appreciate any support, continuing support. Thank you all who have helped us get till now. And hopefully we can find some attorneys and have better results for us all shortly. So thank you all. Hope you have a good day.